You can change them out, probably these ones. And if you go up a little bit higher, you'll feel the bone. Now you want the seat to go right up to that middle portion. Hello everyone, we're back with another video, and today is going to be a little different since we don't have a bike. We do have these ones right here, but these are not for mountain biking. So maybe we'll do a video on trying to ride one of those at the stuff that I ride now. But anyway, I want to get into a bike seat install, but I also want to tell you and show you how tall your seat should be when you're riding, or how short your seat should be while you're jumping or whatever you may be doing. And hopefully this will help you out. And yeah, we got a few different types of seat posts. These ones actually might come in a little bit thicker up here, so this seat post might fit on this one, but it might not fit on that one. But for the most part, I found pretty much all of them are the same size, except for the actual seat post of it that goes into the bike right here. And so we'll see. This one's actually thicker than this one, if you couldn't tell already. This one might be a little bit smaller than this one, and I'm going to show you it works with pretty much all seats. Don't have to worry about buying a certain seat for it. They are all universal seat posts. Okay, so first we're going to talk about how high your seat should be if you're riding a technical trail, or maybe you're going uphill. This will help with your power and everything else. So up here we have, I don't even know what this bone is called, to be honest. Oh God, this is going to be awful. Okay, so you got the bone that goes at the top, right where your ribs are, at the end of your ribs. And then you got the bottom part of it, right where your leg starts. And right in the middle, you'll feel this muscle right here. And if you go up a little bit higher, you'll feel the bone. Now you want the seat to go right up to that middle portion, right where your bone starts to go for your thigh. Now, that part is perfect, I found. Now, I don't know if it's great for everybody. I don't know if that's the actual way you're supposed to have it, but that's the way I do. And I found that I can put out a lot of power with it. And so, yeah, it also helps with if your bottom gets sore. I found that helps a lot with having the seat a little bit higher. Now, if you see with this seat is actually a little bit shorter, but the seat post is not the right size. So if it was a little bit higher, this would be perfect for me. But this actually works pretty well. And of course, we got everything falling all around me. So you see, my hip is right here. My bone's right here, and it pretty much meets in the middle. Actually, it goes to where there's another bone that goes in the middle, and I believe it's your thigh bone, if I'm not mistaken. But you got your top bone, and then you got the other part of the bone that is more in the back. And it seems to get almost pretty close to it, which you want your leg to fully extend if you have your back heel out. Mine does not, so it is not high enough, but it still works. I just won't be able to put out as much power as I would be able to if it was. But yeah, and then if you want the seat lower, you can, for jumps, or if you need more mobility. Yeah, so I found that works out for me. I don't know if it's going to work out for you. That's pretty much how I found it, instead of going around the whole thing and trying to measure it and whatever else. But yeah, that hip bone is where I found it works pretty good. You can go up a little bit higher if you wanted to, maybe an inch higher than it. But yeah, that works for me, and hopefully it works for you too. Okay, so this is more of like showing you how to keep your seat right, just so it's less painful. And if it is painful, you might not be riding enough. And if you're not riding enough, then you're not going to have your cardio either. So yeah, this would help out a lot. Make sure you have your seat flat. So you want it instead of like this or like this, you want it about there. And you might want this part of the seat up just a little bit, just so that the cushion gives you a little bit more. I found if it's too far back a little bit, you don't really get any of the cushion. So you definitely want it just a little bit more. That's just the way I like it, is just a little bit up more. I do tend to slide a little bit, but some of them don't adjust to perfectly flat out. So that kind of sucks, but yeah, so I hope that helped you. If you're not riding enough, your bottom is definitely going to hurt more. Your bone has to adjust to sitting on a seat because, well, if you really think about it, we only sit in chairs, we sit on the couch, we sit on the bed, or we're laying in bed, or we're standing around. We're not used to sitting on something that big. So it's going to be a lot worse than sitting on the couch or sitting on a chair. So yeah, if you want to get used to it, if you don't want your bottom to hurt as much, you could do that. Or they do have cushions. I do not have one to show you right now, but they have cushions that go right over it. You slide it right over, and you there's a drawstring. You tighten it up and you tie it around your seat post or whatever you want to do. And sometimes that helps out a little bit. Or they do have bigger seats, but I found out that just riding it regular, getting a decent cushion that has about that much on it for the seat, and that's pretty much all I use. I usually just find seats that just have enough play, and that seems to work out for me because the cushions don't really work. It's pretty much just a waste of money. If you do have something that's a lot harder, that's pretty much just plastic, it will work for that, but that's pretty much all it's good for. Mainly just ride your bike, get used to it. That'll help you out. I even have trouble at the end of my rides to where my bottom hurts after it, and I'm riding for maybe 3-4 hours. So it will end up hurting eventually, but the more you ride, the more it will help. You could also stand if you need to, obviously. So yeah, let's just get into the how to install your bike seat. Okay, so you pretty much just loosen this up. Now this is a standard. You definitely want metric for your Allen key because bikes are all metric. Standard is probably going to be the red ones for the most part. They'll have fractions instead of just regular 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you see on this one, oh, it doesn't even have it. Oh wait, yes it does. So you'll see right there, they're very gone, but that one says 5 right there. And yeah, so metric is what's going to work. I would not recommend standard because, well, that's why. You can tell why right there. I mean, that's fully all the way in, and it moves around. I do have metric ones, but I keep everything locked to make sure nothing gets stolen. So I do not have all my tools in here either. I keep all my tools inside pretty much, actually. Now you might find that it might be a little bit harder on some of these to get these off, but if this is actually on the seat or on the bike, it's not as hard. Just lift, twist. Man, it's almost like I don't know what I'm doing. I think it just needs to be loosened more. There we go. See, twist. It might be a little bit hard to do it. You just gotta keep messing with it. There it goes. There you go. Comes right off. Throw it back on there. Wiggle it around. Turn that. Tighten it up. And you're all set to go. Now I'm just going to show you that it does work on other seats too. Twist. Pull out. You also want, for these ones, the bolt sticking out in the back. That way you can get to the screw. Same thing with these. I mean, you don't really have to with these, but keep the bolts at the back. Now, see, I'm rotating that. You might have to hold it if it's too loose. Then once you get it to a certain spot, adjust it. Tighten it up. Now I usually just go as tight as I can, but just for this demonstration I'm not going to. See? All set. They also have some little ridges. You might have to just knock it out a little bit to get it to move, but they do have these little ridges right there. You can see them. It's pretty hot in here. It's actually like 90 degrees out today, or maybe 80. But it gets even hotter in the workshop. So yeah, you can move around as much as you want. Tighten it up, and you're all set. Now, for this one, let's get into it. Okay, now for this one. So we got a 1/2 inch socket and ratchet. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. If it wants to come off. Make sure you do both sides evenly. Now, seat posts can come out. You can change them out. These ones are a little bit more of a pain in the butt, but they do change out differently. But with the newer bikes, more than likely, it's just going to be probably these ones. So, these older ones, you'll probably get at like Walmart. Actually, you will get them at Walmart. They do have ones at Walmart. Now this can move if you keep it loose enough. I can take this out, switch it out, put a different one in. This one's a lot bigger. And then switch it. Oh. That won't happen if it's on the bike. There you go. That's all set. All the way on. You want to make sure they're definitely even though, because you don't want one thread bigger than the other. It won't hold as well either. Now, these might actually need to come off for you to get this off. And then this goes to the bottom. Makes it a little bit easier. And you gotta kind of wiggle this one out too. You can even do that too. Bring that to the bottom. There's different ways to do it. It just depends on how tight the seat post is and how cheap your seat is. Some of them are easier than others. So as you can see, we got all these parts here. I will show you how to put them on a different seat. So, throw this here. See, if you couldn't tell, this one's just a little bit wider in some spots. So we're just gonna have to try to wiggle it in, or it might be easy, it might be hard. We'll find out. Now, this piece goes up against here with the threads. See, can't move. Yep, see? Want to make sure the seat post is going to hold on. They also do have notches, so you want to make sure the seat post goes all the way into it. Otherwise, the seat might come out, or it might be not on enough to where it moves. Doesn't clamp down enough. So we got this that goes through here. Then you need the other one to go through that. See? Then I kind of wiggle it in. Might be able to angle it in. These are actually the worst to be messing around with. Oh, see, it just came back at me. They are very hard to get in there. There you go. Now you just slide this, throw this over this, tighten this bolt up a little bit. Same thing with this side. There you go. It actually wasn't on fully. Then you could slide it. I like to have it in the middle. You could have your preferences, but if you could see here, having it too far forward ended up making it spread apart, and it made this bend. So you want to be careful with that on how you install. Make sure it stays in the middle. Then we got this. Tighten it up. You can also do this with a adjustable. I wouldn't recommend it though. It will strip the bolts out. There you go. This goes in here. Oh, made it too tight. There you go, that goes right in there. Tilt it up. There you go, all set. Okay, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure to check out the community page and my Instagram so that you know when I upload. I also post on my story if something goes wrong, or just to show you some broken parts. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. These things happen, so this is the type of video that we had, or the type of video that I made, because, well, we all know my bike is broken, sadly. But yeah, I do have some backup videos ideas that I have written down, so these are the types of videos that I'll be putting out if something goes wrong with me or whatever else. So I hope you all enjoyed this, and I'll see you all later. Peace out, stay safe, and keep on riding. I am not the best at talking to a camera, if you guys couldn't tell.